I have respect for Mr. Pickersgill as a human being, but I have no regards for his worth and his work in the constituency, because his worth and work in the constituency is dismal. Having becoming a candidate in 2016, I was in the constituency for 7 months before a general election was called. Mm-hmm. As you know, and the records will indicate, that over the past 30 years, Mr. Pickersgill has won these elections, and he has always won by 3,000 plus majority over the JLP candidate. And so, having come into politics for the first time, serving the police force in public service for 40 years, I came in as a political novice. And I had 7 months to prepare for a general election. With his tremendous majority of over 3,000 votes each election. And I was able to reduce that majority to just under 1,000 votes. It's a clear indication of the level of support that I have in the constituency. A day in politics is a hell of a time. And I consider myself as one of those persons who the public in general has a certain level of confidence and trustworthiness. And I think that one of the things that engender a candidate is how the people sees him or her. With the kind of work that I have done, I have employed just under 300 persons through my company, and they are all from this constituency. I have worked closely with the poor, those that are in need, those that are disenfranchised. I have worked both with the private and the public sectors, especially government institutions such as our clinics, our hospitals, our schools. And I have made good representation on the people's behalf on issues that were never dealt with by the incumbent member of parliament, such as roads, water, general basic infrastructures that were never dealt with. These are some of the things that I have been able to make some kind of representation, and the response has been tremendous.
What have you been doing to try to reach these persons who clearly are in a state, of disenchantment about the whole electoral process?
My mantra for good governance of the constituency and of the people is to ensure and maintain a high level of trustworthiness. Once you're able to generate that, you would have had half of your people support. Look at what happened in 2016, 7 months. I got into politics. I am well known in this area. I am from this area. My mother, father, sister, brothers, nieces, everybody, all from this area. And that's why in such a short period of time, because of my name, people were able to come out in such short period of time and voted. The performance in the 2016 general election was much better than the performances of Portland Eastern in the by-election. Because the entire JLP resources were placed inside there. I didn't have that. The JLP didn't believe that I could have performed this well. So I didn't get much help from the JLP other than the Prime Minister, then opposition leader, visited my constituency 3 times. I worked very closely both with PNP and JLP. And this time around, this seat will be in the winner's enclosure for the JLP for the first time in 35 years.
What would be your main areas of focus should you be elected the next MP for this constituency?
Roads, water, employment is going to be the areas that I will concentrate on.
In the spirit of political banter, what message would you send to your opponent as both of you seek to win the hearts and the minds of the people of this constituency?
My word to Mr. Graham and the PNP is that they should try to exhibit a higher level of representation and trustworthiness whilst they occupy the position that they are now in. Their failure to represent the people, to improve the condition under which the constituents exist, is so appalling. It is unfair for them to be asking those same people that they represent over these many years to continue to vote for them with such dismal performance. So if you look at the roads condition in the entire constituency, so let us start from their stronghold in Lloydersdale. So Tidixon is their strongest area in the northwest St Catherine. No water for decades, no roads. Paddington, Union, Kentish, all those areas, no water. The community center in Lloydersdale, which is a strong PNP area, is rotten apart. The multipurpose court in Lloydersdale that we spend millions of dollars to put in place is now a forest. The cemetery in Lloydersdale is at the worst condition. The police station, the old derelict one that has now been replaced by that beautiful building, was only able to be done by this government. What is it that Mr. Pickersgill can say on his way out is his legacy? There is none, absolutely none. To Mr. Pickersgill and the PNP, your moral obligation, first and foremost, is to represent the people. Mr. Pickersgill in his current state has not been able to represent the people. They should have ensured that he resigned long ago and to put someone else up who can carry out the function of the people. By the PNP not ensuring that that is done, by Pickersgill not taking the high moral ground to initiate that kind of compromise, is not worthy to still remain collecting taxpayers' money without being able to represent the people. I have all the respect for Mr. Graham. I have respect for Mr. Pickersgill as a human being, but I have no regards for his worth and his work in the constituency, because his worth and work in the constituency is dismal.